Thank you. For those of you who are watching this is my past, this is your present, and I'm going to change, I have to come and change your present so that your future is going to be different. Message to all those people who are watching online. Hello everybody here. Hi. So, my name is Ben Chai, and they're going to change the slide in a second. When I was born, I was covered in eczema. I don't know if you know what eczema is, but it looks like, if you've got it on your fingers, it looks like somebody's cut you. Yes? It looks like you're self-harming yourself. You've got cuts and lesions all over your body. As a result of that, when I was crying and somebody tried to cuddle me, it would make me cry even more because, you know, the skin and the salt coming into those lesions would make it worse. And my mum thought that, hey, this little kid doesn't like being hugged. But that wasn't the case. So here I am, this tiny little ugly baby, as I was called, went to school one day. And what happened when I went to school was people started shouting, Chinese. My name is Ben Chai. When they were shouting Chinese, I literally thought they were talking about my knees. Chinese, right? I know, I didn't understand what racism was in those days. So it was Chinese. And I went back home and I said to Mum, what is this Chinese? Anyway, they couldn't really defend me against this bullying. But my dad's job transferred us to Singapore 10 years later, from London to Singapore. And they thought I would get on okay with people. But I wasn't very tall. As you can see in the diagram, I was as high as a bench. I was bench high. So I got picked on a lot there as well. It wasn't very nice. I had very little confidence. People used to tell me how ugly I was every week or every month or every day. And it was like really, really challenging to the point that because of my lack of self-confidence, when I wanted to do, for example, a project like writing, I always wanted to be a writer. But all my English teachers, I had 5 of them, told me I could never be a writer. It would be terrible, a terrible thing for me to do. So I'll give you an example. An essay might be called The Sunset, and I would write not 2 pages, but 10 exercise books full of my next film called The Sunset. And my teacher one day said, Ben, could you stop writing so much? I will give you your C or your C minus or your C plus, but just don't write so much. When I scraped my degree, which was in maths and computer science, and I literally just scraped it, I was lucky they didn't throw me out, I was asked what I would really like to do, and I said, well, I'd like to be an actor. And my dad and his best friend at the time just laughed in my face and said, you can never do that. And in fact, you'll be safe because we've got a job for you in government, so you'll be okay. It sounds like it was pretty bad, my childhood, but it wasn't all bad. My mum is British and Guyanese, and my dad is Malaysian and Chinese. I've inherited my dad's look and my mum's love for dance. So as a result of that mixed heritage and all those cultures, I speak 8 languages. Does anyone want to know what those languages are? Yes. Okay, English is one. Then we have Australian, American, Canadian, New Zealand, South African, Scottish, and Irish. So that's how come I can be an international star, because I speak 8 languages, right? Anyway, fast forward to today. Like, I have made more money in writing, in editing magazines. I've been featured or written 35 books. And I've made more money than all 5 of those teachers who told me I couldn't do it, put together in their lifetime. I know. One particular book written for Microsoft made my company over $1 million. It was just that significant. I've been, as the host kindly gave most of my talk away, I've been on host and I've been on TV, theatre, film, and also in dance. Now, interestingly enough, with the dance, yeah, all I had to learn was some basics. And it goes like this: 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, because it's Latin dance. 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. And I was rubbish. Really, my friends are out of beginners after 3 months, but I couldn't get out of beginners for 2 years. I couldn't learn those basics. I didn't just have 2 left Chinese. I had 100 left Chinese, right? I couldn't get out. So how did this guy do all of this stuff? Well, this is the secret I want to share with you. I did it little by little, and that little by little compounded. For example, with writing, yeah, my teachers were correct. I was no good as a writer. I just got better. And every 500 words I would write every day or every week. It doesn't matter, as long as you're consistent with these small things. You will get better, and you will get better and better, and you'll learn different ways and better ways to do it. Not only that, but you will find that when you publish these blogs and you post it regularly, other people will eventually see it. And they'll start inviting you for interviews and podcasts. So this is a very important aspect. If you can start something and just start small, you really own the world. The same with the dance. Okay, it took me 2 years to get out of beginners to learn that simple routine. In fact, I had ladies walk off the dance floor. I was so bad. But over 5 years, with me learning 1 move a month, my friends could learn 4 in a week. But I learned 1 move a month. So 12 times 5, that's 60 moves I learned in 5 years. Do you know the amount of combinations with 60 different moves that you have? It's several million. Let me ask you a little question. If I offered you, or you were offered, because I'm not going to offer you this, but if you were offered $1 million today, or 1 cent, which someone will double for you every month for 30 months, what would you choose? 1 million. Everyone's saying 1 cent now. Okay, so normally when I ask this question, people say 1 million. And I say, why? They'll say, well, I'm going to take the 1 million and I'm going to invest it. All right, here's the interesting aspect. Let's take that 1 cent that I gave you on month 1. How much is it worth on month 2? 2 cents. How much is it worth on month 3? 4 cents. How much is it worth on month 4? 8 cents. Are you getting this? How much is it worth on month 5? 16 cents. It's slow, isn't it? Really slow. Do you know how much it is worth after 30 months? $5,368,709.12. Do you notice that every number in there is unique and it's just missing the number 4? My degree's in mathematics. I notice these things, right? So if people could understand the compound effect, then they would literally, this is what Albert Einstein said in the early 19th century, the compound interest is the 8th wonder in the world. If people would just take a small amount, especially in their 20s, they put in $50 or $100 or even $10, you won't get so far, but find a way to get a larger amount, you can be financially free, not in 10 months, not in 10 years, but more like 20 or 30 years. and you don't have to worry about money. Literally, that will happen to you. And it's not just money. It's everything else. So I'm pretty high up the neurodivergent aspect. Let me just do something. Here we go. So here I am, typing away. What's wrong with what I'm doing when I'm typing? My posture is bad. And as a result of that, when I was in my late 40s, I suddenly got a pain in my back. And I was going out just to take the rubbish out. And suddenly, I was in this pain and I could not walk. It just literally pushed me to the ground. I managed to crawl back home. And it was the result of that compound effect, not in the first week, not in the first month, not in the first year, or 10 years, or 20 years. It was 3 decades before I was now paralyzed. This is the compound effect. It works for you and against you. If you do nothing at all, it'll still work with you. Does everyone understand this? So this also works with habits. If you, like my son, he started smoking. He started smoking 1 cigarette, right? And he said to me, "Dad, it's no problem. I can give it up. After 30 days, let me show you." So he gives it up. He says, "There you go." But over time, this habit of smoking, and then he starts smoking a box and so on. And today, Dad, it's really difficult to give it up. Because the compound effect also teaches you habits. And when you're doing good habits like sleeping properly, eating properly, exercising, investing, being nice to people today, that changes your nature. And it's very hard if you've got an addiction to give it up. This is why so many people go for different charities to get help. One of my closest relatives used to say to me, "Oh, I just want to be alone." And over time, the compound effect of them saying, "I just want to be alone," was not what they expected, because their personality changed to be a very manipulative person so that nobody wanted to be around that person. And today, that person's children doesn't want to be around. Their personality changed. So they got what they wanted, but now they're very lonely. Probably some of you know that loneliness is the biggest killer on this planet today. So now that we know what the compound effect is and the small little bits that you can do, why is it that so many people don't do it? It's, Albert Einstein talked about it in the early 19th century. Well, first of all, people want instant results. It doesn't work like that. It's da-da-da-da, and then boom. You need to have consistency. And even when nothing is happening, still keep on doing it. Lao Tzu said, 1,000 miles begins with the first step. He was wrong. It begins with your first 5,000 steps, because now you have a habit and great things will happen. But when you give up after the first 100 steps, the first 1,000 steps, it doesn't work. So some people, what they've done to help them have the life they want is they have what we call an accountability partner. Someone who they phone up every week and will make sure they're on track. For me, I have a list of things on my wall so that every time I wake up, I see them so that I do it. The next time you see or hear the word Chinese, I hope you will take those small steps to have the life that you want today. And you can boost that with AI. Because you can say to AI, I am a middle-aged person, I'm a young person, I'm from this country. What steps do I need to take to have great health? And it will give you. How can I be financially free by the age of 36? I'm 21 years old today. It will tell you. It will tell you every single step if you want to write a book. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Benchai, for those lovely words. Now we on.